I'm going to give you 3 concrete, specific things you can do to use music to make yourself feel better. Ready? Hi, my name is Amelia Nagoski, and it is very weird to tell you that I am the co-author of a book about burnout. How did I get to be co-author of a book about burnout? I am not any kind of health educator. I'm not a scientist of any kind. How did I get to be a burnout expert? Because what I am is a musician. And when I say I'm a musician, I don't mean I play the guitar like at a bar. I mean, I have a doctoral degree in music. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on, it's here. Here it is. Here it is. I'm like official and shit. That's what a doctorate looks like. It's a piece of paper that qualifies me to teach college. It's basically all it is. And that piece of paper represents 2 hospitalizations and a journey of understanding that is the reason that I wrote Burnout. For more details, see the introduction to Burnout, The Secret to Unlocking the Stress Cycle. Being a musician and the odd circumstances of what it takes to be a musician is notorious for burning people out. And it's kind of ironic because music is actually one of the most powerful tools for all kinds of therapies. It helps people mentally and physically and socially and emotionally. And there is going to be like a series of these videos about how music helped me recover from burnout. And the first one I want to say is related to chapter 1 in the book. It's the very first thing we talk about in the book. Emotions are cycles that happen in your body. They're like tunnels. You have to move all the way through the darkness to get to the light at the end. And the first thing that music taught me was that emotions are real. By the time I graduated high school, I wasn't convinced that emotions were real. I talked about this more in my alexithymia video, which I will link to in the description. So I go to college, voice lessons every week and performing in studio class every week, and then learning conducting and learning about, expressing the content of the music, which is the tempo and the texture. And that's all very much a conductor's job, but also the conductor's job is to embody the intention of the composer, which is often emotional. I just thought it was going to be intellectual. And I learned by learning about the history of music, by working with teachers who knew that, of course, emotion is inherent in music. I know that composers have intentions and that sometimes things that they don't intend end up in the music. And we can recognize those things because, collective unconscious and Jung and shit. So the first thing that music taught me about stress management was that feelings are real. Emotions are real. It taught me that they exist and are not imaginary or made up, and people aren't just pretending to have feelings. Feelings are real, and they go in music. And that was the first time I had access to what I think most of the other students already had experienced, which was the catharsis of performance, of standing on a stage and singing something real from inside me. Not just the notes and the rhythms and getting the technique right, but like recognizing something common between the composer and me that we share, and understanding that this is an opportunity for me to say that thing, to feel that feeling, and to show an audience that that composer had this experience, I've had this experience, and I share it with you, and hopefully you all recognize the common humanity amongst all of us, that we all share this together. I didn't learn all of chapter 1, because obviously I burnt out severely in my future life, because that's not enough. So this becomes an actionable piece of information for those of us who like music and it, impacts us powerfully, emotionally, psychologically, physically. If we respond to music, then we can use that, we can harness that power to help us manage stress. And using this tiny piece of information, here's some stuff you can do with music to help yourself manage stress. Thing one, when you are in a particular mood, and you're feeling especially like cranky or like, or really happy, and when you have strong feelings, find a song that you love that perfectly expresses whatever that sensation is and listen to it over and over and over and over and over again. This accomplishes a lot of things. First of all, it connects you to the artist, the performer, in the same way that I felt connected to the composer and the audience. You have that connection with, a community outside yourself, which is really good for you. And second of all, it can help you stay in the emotion long enough to go all the way through the cycle of it so that all the neurotransmitters and all of the electrical signals get used up by you feeling the hell out of that feeling. And there will come a time when you're like, okay, I've heard that song enough. I can walk away from this now. And when that happens, you're going to feel like, hopefully, you might not feel, but you might feel like, and even just a little improvement is enough to help you get through the rest of your day. Thing two, you can listen to music that is the opposite of what you feel. If you are super mad and cranky and you have to go into a meeting in 7 minutes and you have to not be cranky, 7 minutes may not be enough time to move all the way through that negative affect, but it might be enough time to switch it off and put it away for later and bring out another emotion. So if you listen to music that is just like super happy and is relaxing and calming, it has like a nice pleasant beat and it's in a major mode and there's a nice singable melody and it has like words that are about things that are, good things, that can shift your mood. This is documented in science. It can actually shift, the emotional state that's physiological as a state. But people have known that this is true and that this works at least since antiquity. We've known this for thousands of years at least, since all of written human history. Thing number three is to listen to music that reminds you of a thing that makes you feel the way you want to feel. So the first two were about the emotion that is in the music itself, intrinsic. Whether it's going to match your mood or it's going to change your mood. This third thing is about the extrinsic qualities of the music, where maybe this song is like a super sad song, but it's the song that you had your first slow dance ever to, and you just always remember that, that moment and how thrilled you were. And even though it's a sad song, intrinsically a sad song, extrinsically your experience of that song is filled with happy memories. This is the same process that happens when you think about laughing uncontrollably and ridiculously with a good friend in the past. Just remembering that can change your state, can change your physiological state, change your emotions. So there you go. Being a musician kind of caused my burnout, but music itself is a powerful tool for helping cure and prevent it. Almost as good as all of us caring for each other.